Hello and welcome to Formula Racing's World Series Season 6 Round 8 Austria race highlights. We see the standings flicking across the screen as I speak, and this racetrack is one of the greats on the current calendar. Known to many as the A1 Ring, known to even more people as the Red Bull Ring. Either way, there's not a lot of corners, there's quite a few high speed sections of the track. I don't think we're going to have a Red Bull winning here this week, but we do still have the challenge between the two Williams drivers, although we have a surprise pole sitter in the form of It's Hammer Time 44 in as a reserve driver for Mercedes. But now we'll hand over to the race commentary team. Round 8 at the Red Bull Ring in Austria. We've no idea what the weather's going to be like for the start of the race, but we're about to find out. And don't think naughty thoughts when you're having a look at that picture of the bull there. I think they could have edited that picture a little differently, really. He's got something dangling between his legs. But yeah, we have got what looks like a very, very wet circuit. Do you reckon it's full wet tyres, Ray?
By the looks of it, yes.
I think I would have to agree with you. This is a circuit though where unless it gets very hot very quick, it's not going to dry up very fast at all. Now I believe Farfba is ahead of you, Ray, and next to me, so we shouldn't have to get out of the way of anybody, but it does look like a full wet tyre situation. It is, and according to the strategies, it'd be a one-stop race if it stays full wet. I don't think it will. Okay, Ray, you got 5 seconds to give us your prediction.
Don't know.
You know what? I'm going to go for It's Hammer Time. The lights are on then. 4 lights, 5 lights. It's time to go racing. So as they make their way then up to turn 1, we will hope that they all manage to negotiate it nice and cleanly. Not always easy to do though. And there is contact. I think Casely, Sideways, Hindle and Hybrid Nuke, they've had very good starts in the Williams. They're now up to first and second. Dave the Harp's up to third. I don't know where It's Hammer Time has dropped down to. I can't see him in the first 7 or 8 cars. Farfba, he's managed to get up to 8th place. Oh, Dave the Harp looks like he's going very slow on the exit of turn 2. Oh, and Hindle all out of shape part way down the straight. Casely in the 13th, so it's not gone well for It's Hammer Time then. Didn't see what happened, but that I think is Azamort in the Mana Marusha in 5th place. It is just behind his good friend Richie Davey, who does quite often like a little bit of wet running. So Hindle then leading the way, and It's Hammer Time.
Oh, Paul's lost it. Oh, is that a bit of lag?
No, he's in the gravel. He is in the gravel in the distance, no, I think. No, he's not. Okay, you might be right. It might be a little bit of lag there. But It's Hammer Time. He did say that he wasn't looking forward to this race if it ends up wet. From a Racing GP, he's in 12th place as well, so something's happened to him. Dave the Harp, he's in 12th. He's had a bit of a mare there. I wonder if he's going for the pit lane. Dave the Harp's lost the front wing. He's got no front wing on that car. Okay, so end of lap 1, Hindle still leading the way with Hybrid Nuke in 2nd place, Casely in 3rd, and he's being challenged by Richie Davey. We've got Farfba off in the background as well. No, that's lag again. That's going to be difficult to keep an eye on. Richie Davey trying to send Casely defensive, but instead it sent him very, very wide on the exit of turn 2. So that's Richie Davey up to 4th place. Charlie now into 5th, and he's got Azamor next to him. You can't really see him here, but he is there. I do assure you, he is there somewhere, if it gave me a decent view. But Charlie's ran a little bit wide. There we go. There's Azamor. Oh, Charlie's gone deep though. He's gone deep at the corner. That's going to give Azamor half a chance, but he can't quite make it through. Rickster, he's now under attack from Azamor. Sorry, it's still showing me Charlie. My mistake. Where is Rickster? Oh, Azamor and Paul had a little bit of contact. They're supposed to be teammates in this race, so they won't be too pleased about that one. But then we don't know exactly where Paul's car is, because at the moment it's trying to hump a McLaren. Flora Racing GP has got its hammer time and Andy Russell all over the back of him. But to be fair, he's not far off the car ahead either. And we're already 4 laps into this race, Ray. And it's going to go quick as Andy Russell makes a beautiful move on its hammer time into turn 1. So what have you got your eye on there, Ray?
I was just watching that overtake.
It was a very nice move, I have to admit.
For GP. Has he got it?
No, he hasn't quite got the grip up the inside. For a Racing GP able to get the power down and pull ahead. But Andy Russell's looking fairly overtakey here today. Go on.
Turn 1, front row Racing GP and Adam 4600 or 4600.
Oh, contact! And that's caught Andy Russell as well. I think they're still managing to keep going. Didn't see exactly what happened there, but now we've got a bit of a 3-way battle as the Red Bull. Oh, I thought that P0 sign was just going to become a 0 sign. Well, Adam 4600 was in 9th place. He's now down into 11th as Front Row Racing GP is now up to 10th. Andy Russell did get ahead of Front Row Racing GP. It's hammer time now, side by side with Adam 4600. As I was mentioning earlier, or I was about to mention, in the World Championship race last night, we did see that when it rains here, you can be on a dry tyre for quite some time when it rains. But as we saw in qualifying here, as Adam and it's hammer time side by side through sector 2, and Adam having to concede the position. If you get that call wrong, the intermediate tyre will still be faster. Now, they're not on intermediates at the moment, but this is the decision the drivers are going to have to make. Hybrid Nuke is leading the race. Yeah. So, Ray, keep an eye on him. Tell us what tyre is going on. Oh, Hybrid Nuke. I think Richie Davies, has just caught the back of Hybrid Nuke. Cost himself a little bit of time. What did you say tyre is on, Ray?
They're changing tenders. The pit lane is busy.
It's very busy. I've got an eye on Arazor here as 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's at least 6 or 7 cars into the pit lane. It is absolutely manic down there. Hopefully no one's going to get run over. And hopefully nobody's going to hit the barrier on the way out and lose a front wing and have to pit again. So Hindle was the first to pit for the intermediate tyre. He's currently in 4th place. I would reckon his teammate is going to be going for the inters as well. 3rd place then. So Richie Davey has lost out through that round of stops.
He's on the primes.
Is he?
He's on the prime tyres.
Who? Richie Davey?
Yeah.
He's on the option tyres. Yeah, he's...
option, sorry.
So the curse of Austria has struck again then for Richie Davey. That'd be why he was struggling behind Ant. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. I think it's fair to say then that Richie Davey will be the one that's lost out the most in those round of pit stops then. It's hammer time, just posted the fastest lap of the race so far, 16.3, as Front Row Racing GP in 11th place, now 10th place, trying to catch up to Adam 4600. A bit of a, I don't know if that was a brave call by Richie Davey there, or whether it was a pit lane error. And 69, he's gone for the pits, he's got round the pit exit without losing the front wing. Farfba in 12th place, he's in a Force India, but will score points for the Marussia team, not far behind Ant now. No. And I've got a feeling if Hammer Time's pitting now, it might be for a dry tyre.
He's got the options out.
I tell you what, if it is now time for the dry tyre, Richie Davey is going to end up kicking himself because he's just got rid of the dry tyre. The Sauber crew are coming out as well. It's Richie Davey, he's back into the pits. He's getting rid, I think he's got intermediate tyres on. Options. He has. No, he's on intermediates at the moment. So he pitted, got rid of his options, put inters on. He's just pitted again, got rid of them, put options on. Oh, time for the gambles to see if they're going to pay off. Very, very interesting.
Dave the Hart, Paul's been in, Hindle's coming in.
I tell you what, if Hindle's coming in, that would suggest that it's definitely time for the dry tyre. Hybrid Nuke is continuing on. He hasn't really got much of a choice about that because his teammate is in the pits. Hybrid now searching for water.
Charlie's coming in. Azamot's coming in, Rickster's coming in.
So the pit lane's getting really busy again.
It's continuing.
Well, he's kind of got to. His teammate K-Slate gets away. Charlie, I think he's just been held up a little bit by Arazor, who now gets into his pit box. Arazor putting the intermediate tyres on. Option tyres on. Rickster's put option tyres on. You were right, Adam4600 has pitted, he's put the option tyres on. Ant69, I wonder what tyres he's on. He's on the intermediates, so he pitted later than most, and he is still running the inters as Rickster comes out of the pits on a set of options next to him. And we've got two cars nearly side by side up ahead, and that's its hammer time.
Azamot.
Yep, Arazor and it's it's Arazor and it's hammer time. And the thing is, if they're on the dry tyre now, that means that DRS may be available. We're looking at the speed difference here. I'd say not yet. Up the inside's going to be difficult here in the wet conditions. Arazor lets him through to slide out wide, takes the inside drier line, could help him keep the position. But he has now left the inside open, so it's hammer time now up to 6th place. Charlie, he's on the option tyre in 5th corners, but Hybrid Nuke could be about to find himself under attack depending on which tyre K-Slay goes for. If you could let us know on that one. Oh, it's Charlie taking an interesting line into the pit lane. Arazor and Rickster. Oh, Azamor's into the barrier in the pit lane. He's lost a front wing. Oh my days. Not what he would have wanted to do there. That's going to mean a slightly longer pit stop for him. And it's hammer time on his brand new tyres. Now posting a new fastest lap. Front Row Racing GP pitted a lap before those that are now in the pits. Will he be able to undercut any? He's got to be careful though, because he's got Richie Davey in that Sauber behind him. We can see a few cars trying to make their way out of the pit lane now.
To turn 2, I think it is. Yep, it is. And oh, there's a train of them. 6th, 7th, 8th and 9th.
It's a tricky situation.
What one do you watch? Richie Davies going for it on Front Row Racing GP. GP needs to watch how he brakes because he was right behind Rickster there. Richie Davies got the overtake.
Richie was quite clever there. He positioned his car so that Front Row Racing GP couldn't go for an overtake on Rickster, allowing Richie to get ahead of Front Row Racing GP. And now he's all over the back of Rickster, who's on the prime tyre. Arazor has managed to get ahead, now needs to pull away. Rickster's definitely in a bit of a sandwich at the moment. Oh, there's a beautiful camera angle from the helicopter here as they make their way down the start-finish straight.
As I said, the wiggle, Rickster's caught right up the back of him out of that corner.
Now it'd be interesting to see what happens at the end. I mean, what would you have done, Ray? The rain disappears. Would you just think, right, I'll use up the options all the way to the end of the race, or put on primes, do the longer stints, and see if we can do it with less pit stops?
I would have went primes and try.
Oh, Rickster chucking it right up the inside in the final corner. That could have been absolute carnage. Somehow it wasn't. Could be deemed a beautiful overtake, but I think he may have just caught Arazor off guard a little bit there. But that's put Richie Davey up a position as well. So Rickster on the harder tyre. Wow, very interesting move. Now Ray, you keep an eye on this battle here. I'm going to have to go and have a look at Hybrid Nuke. It's hammer time. We've missed it, but it's hammer time. Has got ahead of K-Slay. He's now down in 4th place. Dropped off quite a bit as well. But behind it's hammer time.
Oh, contact! Richard Davey went for an overtake and there was a wee collision. He's down into 9th place.
Typical. I should have stayed on this one. I'll tell you what, Ray, I'll keep an eye on this one. You go and have a look. Somewhere on track, there's a Red Bull and a Mercedes battling it out. But Arazor, he's now...
11 and 12, Dave the Harp and Adam4600.
Okay, you keep an eye on that one then. As Arazor is now under pressure from Front Row Racing GP. Richie won't be happy that he's ended up in a bit of a collision there. He was making gains. Okay, GP has now got DRS, but that Mana Marusha may also have it as well. But up the inside into turn 1 they go. Side by side. Oh, big wiggle from Arazor there, but they managed to avoid each other. Is Arazor going to try and come back through into turn 2? No, I think the gap is just a little bit too big now.
Yeah, the gap.
Oh, Richie Davey! Sorry, Richie Davey's just given Arazor a little bit of a nudge. I don't know if it was those two who came together earlier, but Richie has just given a little bit of a nudge, as I say. I'm here, and I'm coming past into turn 3. I'm coming past, but I don't think Arazor will give it up easily. Sorry, the gap between 11th, was it you were saying, Ray?
And Arazor right next to each other. If Arazor team get this sorted, they might have to hold Richie Davey.
I think you're right. If Arazor can get past, yes. So Arazor, he's jumped him in the pits. Richie will not be happy about that. He won't be happy at all about that. So what tyres have those 3 gone for then, Ray?
Options.
So they are going to the end on the option tyre then. So a couple of things we need to keep an eye out. Rickster, what is he going to do? Currently running primes. I think he's got a pit soon. It's hammer time.
In the pits.
Yeah, I think Hindle will be going for a set of option tyres. It's Hammer Time's running prime tyres at the moment. The car behind him, Caseley, he's on the option tyres. Sorry about the dodgy camera work there, but it doesn't really give you brilliant camera angles when you change from car to car. Caseley can just about see the car ahead, but should be faster at this time of the race on these tyres. Richie Davey defensive line, and they realise actually no, he needs the slipstream. Oh, so they're getting close then. They are. Rickster is all over the back of him. And this is an interesting situation because Charlie will want the points, but it's his teammate, so he may not want to hold him up too much, but he might want to fight him for it. And Rickster has got...
This is Honda McCarn garage. Just race, boys, just race.
Not anymore, not anymore. Hold his position. Rickster manages to get through. Richie Davey is all over the back of from a racing GP, or at least he was, until he looked like he had a little bit of a moment on the exit of turn 3 there. But one thing we're just going to have to keep an eye out, Ray, is how far Hindle is through his lap. If you could quickly have a look, because he should be on the last lap of the race now.
Yeah, he's just coming out in sector 2.
Okay, if he's just coming into sector 2, we'll leave these guys to battle for a moment. You watch Sod's Law, they'll change position, but Hindle, I've no idea if he's going to end up being questioned about what happened to its hammer time at the first corner, because I've no idea what happened, but Hindle from there has just been absolutely on it. He will be hoping that he'll get no post-race penalties. So around the final corner he comes then to take victory for the Williams team on the Red Bull track at the Red Bull Ring. It'll be victory for Hindle and his teammate Hybrid Nuke coming around the final corner. Not feeling too well, and I tell you what, it's hammer time. I think it might be. He's all over the back of him, just out a shot. He was. It's hammer time right behind him for 3rd place. So quick look at the podium then. And we do still have both Williams and the Mercedes on there, so if these guys have got any penalties, it's not affected their positions unless the Williams have switched over. But it does look like it's Hindle on the top step of the podium taking victory here in Austria with his teammate 2nd, and it's hammer time in 3rd. Now in a moment we'll get to have a look at what the race result was on the timing screen, but please remember folks, it is only a provisional result. Hindle, he did have a penalty, a 5-second penalty that usually hints at an illegal overtake.